Hello, I'm Casey,
And I'm Mackenzie,
and this is Field Notes from the Unknown.
a podcast about your favorite local cryptid.
Good morning.
Good morning, sunshine.
How are you today?
I am alive. I'm good.
That's good.
My-
I like it when you're alive.
Thank you. I like it when I'm dead.
Stop.
Just kidding. My body feels pained.
Yeah.
It's fine. We are recording today from my home. Thank you for coming. We
Thank
have
you for having me.
this pig creature that is Casey's
Known as
daughter
Kit.
next to us. She's beautiful.
She has a corkscrew tail, floppy ears,
Webbed feet on one side.
web feet on one side, a little red bumpies on her belly,
She is so concerned why I'm touching her foot.
tootses
Little teethies
that overlap, and her tongue is sticking out a little bit.
and a speckled muzzle.
And she's looking at us like,
She's like, "What is it?
"You're
Cutie?"
so handsome, girl."
Fat Boy was out there on the catio. I'm not sure where he is, but Fat Boy believes that Kid is out to get him.
Yeah.
Kid does not care about Fat Boy.
Kid could care less.
Yeah.
Though she was interested for a second.
She was. I think she was wondering if Fat Boy was one of her siblings.
Yeah.
But
They do look alike.
thank you for coming to record this morning and also to help us with the fencing project that is going on, which is why my body hurts.
I'm excited
I'm
for
dying.
the fencing project.
We're putting up about 250 feet of fencing outside. It is a lot. Listeners, if you can pay somebody to do this, you should.
Yeah.
I always forget how much work it is until we get into a project. I feel like projects are always like way harder than you think they're going to
Oh,
be.
absolutely.
You know, like consistently.
Yeah. No, they're always harder.
Yeah. Should we get into our topic for today?
I think so.
Okay.
I think we should. What did you bring me today?
Today I will be telling you a little bit about the Pukwudgie.
Ooh.
I know. I love the Pukwudgie, and I'm also Casey does a great job of always putting up like pictures on our social media of the creatures.
So if you wonder what this is, check out our Instagram or our Facebook. You'll be able to look at it.
Because they're kind of creepy.
They're very creepy.
So Pukwudgie is a Wampanoag or Algonquin word meaning little wild man of the wood that vanishes. So that's what we're dealing with today.
How little?
2 to 3 feet tall.
Ah,
They are
like leprechauns?
kind of. It's similar to
Or
leprechaun.
Tommy knockers.
Yeah, honestly.
They're all family.
I feel like this is my grand unification of the unparanormal theory,
Okay.
is that a lot of these cryptids, leprechauns, Pukwudgies, fairies, are all from the fairy realm, and they exist somewhere, and they're here always, but we can't always see them unless we're open to that possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's all the same genre of creature. We just call them different names, and they behave differently based on location.
Oh my God.
This is my theory.
It's just like humans.
Yeah,
We're all different, but we're all the same, and we should all respect each other the same way.
exactly.
Yeah, interesting. Pukwudgies.
Yeah, so Pukwudgies are this variety of Pukwudgie are in a couple of places. They're in Delaware. They're in Prince Edward Island, parts of Indiana, which is really cool. Because of course I'm in Indiana, born and raised. But having moved to Pennsylvania, obviously, and then most famously, I think, from the Bridgewater Triangle.
Love the Bridgewater Triangle.
I know you do. So, Pukwudgies are between 2 and 3 feet tall. They're
Okay.
humanoids, and they are thought to be shapeshifters. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Does it say what they shapeshift into, or
Porcupines, rabbits, like cougars, everything.
ooh?
They could also just like blend into the forest.
Do you think
wanna
it
know that?
takes how many Pukwudgies does it take to evolve into a cougar?
I have no data on this, but I feel like one Pukwudgie would be like the face, one would be the front quarters, and one would be the hind quarters. So 3 Pukwudgies.
See, I think it would take 4 Pukwudgies.
Why?
One for the face, one for the hind quarter, one for the middle, and then one for the front quarter, and then one for the back.
Fascinating.
Because cougars are pretty big.
They are pretty big. Yeah.
A porcupine might take 1.
Yeah.
Or maybe 2, depending on the size of the porcupine.
Yeah. There's
And
some
a
big
rabbit,
porcupines.
yeah. And then a rabbit would just be 1.
One.
Yeah.
Reasonable. A Pukwudgie scale
Yeah.
Yes. Multiple wedgies.
I'm gonna start measuring things in Pukwudgie scale, be like, "How many Pukwudgies is that TV stand?"
At least 4.
I would say 5.
You think so?
Are you going up or
I'm
length
thinking
or width?
every so
I'm
it's like
doing width.
it's a 2 by 4, like, cubby, like, TV stand. So I think 1 Pukwudgie per, like, 2 cubes.
Go to Lowe's and be like, "I need a TV stand that's 5 Pukwudgies tall."
And they're like, "Ma'am, are you okay?
Should
Should we
we
call the
call someone?
authorities?" So when Pukwudgies are in their normal, unchanged form, they have quills or, like, spiky hair that sticks out from their back.
Uh-huh.
They can have grayish, brownish, or golden skin and big ears and sharp teeth. They can bite you.
Oh,
And they're described as being one with nature, and they can move elegantly and unencumbered throughout the forest.
interesting.
Mhm. Some stories suggest that when Pukwudgies have been observed, they actually have little wings on their back. So if they jump off of a cliff or something, they flutter down with tiny wings.
So, but how with the spikes?
I can't answer that question.
Okay.
I feel like maybe their spikes. I
Are
don't
it
know.
are the
I don't know.
Yeah, because are the spikes something like a porcupine? Because a porcupine can have its quills smooth, and then it defenses.
I feel like it's probably like that, where they're like your hair. Like normally they're like
Yeah,
down a little bit, and then when they get startled or they are in like attack mode, they
yeah,
go up.
they go up.
Yeah. So probably, but you would think that when a Pukwudgie is jumping from a tall thing, they would be in like flight mode.
Or are the wings also part of
The
the
spikes?
spikes where, like, they're just webbing?
It's possible. They don't
Mhm.
always have wings either. Like apparently they sprout them for these, but sometimes so they also have magical powers. We'll get into it.
Does it say that just the males or the females have the wings?
It does not specify.
Mm,
I think
okay.
any of them can have wings.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Kay.
Yeah. Pukwudgies are very strange. They also apparently have a strong, sweet odor and are often seen in flowery meadows.
Aw.
I don't know. What do you think is Pukwudgie's favorite flower?
Mm. Oh, probably the little tiny daisies you see along little that or, like, the tiger lilies, because I wanna say those are the most w that I see.
Strongly
Yeah,
scented. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I like tiger lilies. Either that or like maybe like the bachelor buttons that pop up in the
Oh,
summertime.
yeah.
'Cause those are also like really nicely scented.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Yeah. I think something with a strong scent. And the lore would suggest that female Pukwudgies are pretty.
Of course they are.
Yes.
So that makes me wonder, am I actually smelling the flowers or am I smelling the Pukwudgies?
Probably a Pukwudgie.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would suggest whenever you're outside at all times, carry a net.
You wanna take one?
I want to, yeah,
I feel like that's bad juju.
I want to ask it questions.
It's not gonna talk to you.
It might. They do sometimes.
Yeah, probably to whisper in your mind and then manipulate you and be like,
Oh no, sometimes they speak out loud.
"No,
They are.
let me go."
So it's interesting because sometimes they're like evil and sometimes they're not.
If you caught one, I feel like it would turn.
Probably. No, you're probably right.
If I was one and
Don't you
someone
want
caught
to
me,
pet one though?
no,
I
I
do.
wanna pet one about as much as I wanna pet a porcupine,
I want to pet a
and I
porcupine.
don't want to.
I want to pet a porcupine though. Like their little faces don't have quills, right?
I don't know. I don't think you can even get close to a porcupine without it,
Quilling you.
yeah, quilling up, at
I
least.
mean, don't they like they can't launch their quills, right? Like they're attached until they stab you, right?
I don't I
Do you
mean,
remember watching Homeward Bound?
yeah, and
Yeah.
it broke me as a child. When Sassy fell into the like, what? I almost might cry now.
I cried when
Oh, and then at the end, yeah, and it's like, "Sassy!" And then it's like, "Where's the other one?"
there's our sob, and then at the very last minute, he comes galumphing
Yeah.
slowly over.
Like, "Oh." Yeah, I've watched that. That's awful.
I love that
And
movie.
it's Chance that gets the quills in
That's
his.
right. Of course, it's
Yeah.
fucking Chance.
Yeah.
Fucking Chance. What was the older dog's name?
I cannot remember the
Yeah,
older
either
dog's name.
Max? No, I think that was the boy's
I
name.
think that was the boy's name.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Whatever.
you guys have any traumatic stories about Homeward Bound, please
Yeah,
please
we
let
would
us
love to know.
know.
I feel like this is like a millennial thing. Like we
Oh,
all went through this.
definitely. But yeah, no, you're right, because Chance didn't get the quills until he sniffed the
Yeah.
porcupine.
I wouldn't sniff it. I just want to pet its little face.
That's what a porcupine would
It
do.
just tried to quill me.
Yeah. I don't
So
know why I thought they shot the quills out.
I
That would
know.
be pretty cool, though.
Like the those ants that like shot out the acid, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So Pukwudgies are troll-like tricksters that lure people to their death. Yes.
Literally why you shouldn't wanna catch one.
They cast spells. They launch poison arrows. They shapeshift. They create fires, which you know I love. And they can also turn invisible. Yes.
You can't set something on fire and blame it on a Pukwudgie, okay?
Shh.
Please do not do this.
Indeed.
And you wanna catch one?
Kind of.
Can you reread all of that again? And
Troll-like
just
tricksters that lure people to their death, cast spells, launch poison arrows, shapeshift, create fires, and turn invisible.
there we go.
This actually might be the most powerful cryptid we have discussed thus far.
Yeah.
So, according to the Complete Encyclopedia of Elves, Goblins, and Other Little Creatures by Pierre Dubois,
Ah.
Pukwudgies are always armed with bow and arrows, but the arrows can also unleash thunder and lightning.
So every time it storms and there's
It's a
thunder and
Pukwudgie. Yeah.
someone's pissed off a Pukwudgie. Mackenzie's caught a Pukwudgie.
I'll never tell you.
I'm gonna know now.
I'm gonna get it to like, I don't know, like grant me a wish like a leprechaun. I'm gonna let it go.
You won't tell me, but there will be signs.
There'll be signs.
There will be
There will
signs.
always be signs. And then, according to the Encyclopedia of Fairies in World Folklore and Mythology, ooh, what's the matter?
Kit,
Kit? What
what's
what are we
wrong?
looking at?
Did you just have a bad dream?
Please excuse this slight interruption.
Aw, poor baby.
Kit had some big feelings. What's the matter?
She's scared for you to catch a Pukwudgie. You're okay.
Do you want a Pukwudgie? You want a Pukwudgie? Was she sleeping?
I think she was sleeping. She had a really bad dream and woke herself up. You're okay, honey.
That scared me.
Oh, she's gonna
Okay.
lay back down.
She's going back. Um, yeah, so they can also create fire with their arrows for other encyclopedias.
Okay.
So there's lots of lore. Either it's thunder and lightning, it's creation of fires, or the arrows themselves are poison. All of the above. This
All
is
of
why I
the
want to
above.
catch one. They are represented in native lore throughout the Northeast,
I
Southeastern
bet you they didn't
Canada.
catch it.
Probably not. And also the Great Lakes, which is wild. But I'll explain why the Great Lakes, because of like their origin story. And then they've been around in legends for over 10,000 years.
Wow. They're
Isn't it- They're
old.
super old. I think also maybe one of our oldest cryptids we talked
Yeah.
about. Yeah. Um,
Which is even more because they're older and wiser. So you shouldn't fuck with a Pukwudgie.
their fundamental nature varies based on the native culture that they come from and the region. So in the Great Lakes, tribes like the Ojibwe generally consider them to be good-natured but mischievous. Um, in the Northeast, with the tribes like the Abenaki, they are not harmful unless you provoke them
Okay.
or disrespect them. But then the Wampanoag and the southern New England areas, they're considered harmful, greedy, and they often use tricks or cast spells like balls of lightning to lure people into the woods, like foxfire.
Uh-huh.
And once they lure people into the woods, they eat.
You're gonna get lured into the woods. You're already putting it out there. The window's open. They're probably listening.
Probably.
And they're like,
Apologies.
oh, this one will be real easy.
Honestly, I think of the two of us, I am most likely to go missing.
Do you have If I Go Missing, like a book that says if I go missing, here's everything?
I should.
You should.
I really should.
I think, yeah.
I should have like a, yeah, like
Like,
this
here
is
are
what
my
you do.
passwords. This is what I want. Yeah.
I love it. I should do that.
Who takes care of Kit?
I'm off tomorrow. Maybe I should put
Do
that
that.
on my strategies. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you want to hear the origin story?
Of course they do.
So this comes from the Wampanoag tribe. So set the scene. This is where we're going to insert some of that really calming, crazy background music.
Okay.
Can you hear it?
I can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Burp,
hear it.
burp, 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 burp. All right. In the old days, Pukwudgies lived alongside humans peacefully, sometimes even helping each other. However, over time, humans stopped understanding the Pukwudgies and appreciating them for their help. Additionally, the Pukwudgies grew jealous of the love the humans had for Mashop, the giant creator being of the Wampanoag people who lived in the area that is now known as Cape Cod.
Mhm.
The Pukwudgies began stealing food and throwing sand in people's eyes, and overall being degenerate assholes. The humans then complained to Moshop's wife, whose name is Granny Squanet. Moshop asked the humans to gather up all of the Pukwudgies they could find and then bring them to him. Once the Pukwudgies were gathered, Moshop picked them all up at once and threw them into the Great Lakes.
Oh, all the Pukwudgies?
Yeah. So he took them all and threw them in the Great Lakes, which is how they ended up at the Great Lakes.
That's
Wild.
so
It
rude.
is rude.
Why can't everyone just live together
I don't know.
amongst each other in a peaceful manner?
They should. Rather, so in some retellings, this is the end of the tale, but sometimes um, the Pukwudgies are told to have retaliated,
As I would.
as they would. So rather than just being like tricksters, they began to exact vengeance by kidnapping children, luring people to their deaths, and burning down whole villages. What happened then was Moshop sent his 5 sons into the deep grass where the Pukwudgies were said to be, to eradicate them and, kill them. But the Pukwudgies had the advantage and shot and killed all of Moshop's sons.
Ooh. Aw.
And then the last part of the story that's often disputed is that the Pukwudgies then killed Moshop and Granny Squanet. But it depends who you ask. Some people think Moshop and Granny Squanet still live in the Cape Cod area.
Okay.
So that's the origin story.
I don't blame the Pukwudgies for being pissed.
No, I'd be pissed too if somebody tried
Yeah,
to pick me up and
absolutely.
throw me fucking 800 miles
This,
away.
you know,
Mhm.
I understand the arrows and the fire more now.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So Pukwudgies were said to have originally been in the Hockomock Swamp, which is the center of the Bridgewater Triangle, and are thought to cause a lot of the disturbances around in that area.
Ah.
So that's where they come from. Um, and then don't piss them off, because if you do, I know,
Don't piss them off.
I know.
Yeah, if you haven't already thought, don't piss them off earlier in this episode.
hmm
Yeah.
Yes, but sometimes they're still protectors of the forest too.
Yeah, protectors of the
I know. I
forest.
just want to become part of the forest. You know. Some native legends believe that Pukwudgies gather together annually to discuss the future of the universe.
Well, we all know that all the cryptids meet, like the Justice League.
So I
So,
picture the
yeah.
Pukwudgies are up in front, sitting at the table, leading the discussion.
Oh, it's like when you go into Harry Potter and they go to the bank with the goblins.
Yes!
That's exactly
Yes!
it.
And the goblin size is Pukwudgie size. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, the grand unification of the unknown.
Yeah. Okay, so
This is
yeah.
fucking it. It's the fucking
This is it.
Pukwudgies. And legend has it that if they become disappointed in humans and they stop meeting, that time itself will end.
Oh, please. If it has
Beam me up, Sky Daddies!
Yeah. Pukwudgies. It's bad.
Yes, now is the time.
Now is the time.
So would you like some modern encounter stories?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start with Miss S. So, in the 1990s, Miss S's family was living in Lawrence, Massachusetts, and reported a series of strange occurrences around their family home.
Ooh.
So, the first time this happened, Bob, who was Mrs. S's brother, was watching television with his cousin when he felt somebody tugging his hair in the back of his head. He thought it was his cousin. So he was like, "Fuck off, stop." But she replied and said it was not her. Several minutes later, he felt his hair again being pulled, so he turned around and supposedly encountered a little old woman with long white hair hiding behind his couch. Upon being spotted, she took off, running towards the front door, and then disappeared into thin air. Upon questioning their grandmother, Grandma told them not to worry as the creatures were friendly.
Ah,
So
interesting.
apparently she knew about them.
She probably fed them.
I'm
Like,
sure.
she probably leaves out treats, which is why you can leave out treats for them, offerings.
Okay.
Don't trap one.
Okay. What if it like
I don't believe you.
if I leave out treats and I'm there and it like offers me to pet it, can I pet it then?
Only if it offers.
Okay, all right. Consent
But
is
then
always
also,
important.
please remember it's a trickster.
Okay. I will not follow into the forest.
So yeah, it'll be
Probably.
like, "Yeah, you can pet me." And then it's like, "Don't touch me."
What kind of treats do you suppose it likes? Peanut butter?
Oh, probably raw meat, I would think.
Kid? You want to be a sacrifice?
Absolutely not. Yeah, like
The betrayal.
yeah, no. Yeah, probably like little steak tips with those sharp teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next incident happened sometime later. Miss S's mother was bringing Bob and their cousin, it's always fucking Bob, to their grandparents' house one evening. The grandparents were not home. They were on a cute little date night. So the family was surprised to see a light that was on in the living room. They looked in the window and were kind of scanning around, and then they were shocked to see a very short old man with flowing long white hair run out of the living room and into the kitchen, which was at the back of the house. They then promptly left without investigating.
uh, I'd probably leave also.
Right? A lot of times the family would find coffee and sugar spilled all over the floor and glass bottles of Coke that had been opened and then half drunk. And when pressed, the grandparents would say, "Oh, it's just rats." But like rats don't have thumbs.
Rats can't open Coke bottles.
No. And curiously, the grandparents were of I'm gonna butcher this, Mi'kmaq heritage from northern Maine and parts of Canada. So that's an area that have traditional Pukwudgie lore and legend. Miss S's mother taught her to ward herself, and that would ensure good interactions with the Pukwudgie. And one should leave a gift on your back steps the evening that you move into a new house.
I'm gonna have to do that.
Mm-hmm. In your house search, you got to make sure there's a good spot for you to put your offering
Yeah,
for the Pukwudgies.
I'm gonna do that for the
Absolutely.
Pukwudgies.
You should. And set up a trail cam so we can catch a little picture of the trickster. Do you think Pukwudgies are...
Well, why would they? Pukwudgies can shapeshift. So if a raccoon or a porcupine comes up to eat the offering,
It's a Pukwudgie.
automatically just a Pukwudgie.
Yes,
I believe that. Okay.
I think so. The next encountering story is Mr. Bill Russo, Sr. of Rainham? I think it's Rainham, Massachusetts. This is a creepy one. This is probably one of the most famous ones you probably heard before.
Okay.
So in the 1980s, Bill was working the graveyard shift at a local iron workshop. He got home and he would routinely take his Rottweiler shepherd mix Samantha out on a walk. So one night he was taking her up a fairly busy road to a spot called High Trees that backs up to the forest. Suddenly, Samantha, who was typically a really brave dog, started whimpering and cowering and kind of hiding behind Bill. That's when Bill heard a strange language being spoken from the tree line. He heard the phrase, "Kier, kier, I want you. Kier, kier, I want you."
Kind of sounds like kill, kill. We want you.
Then a creature stepped forward into the streetlight from the woods. It was a small 3-foot being covered in gray fur with a pot belly. It was taking its hand and waving to Bill and beckoning him into the woods. Bill remembered in that moment hearing stories as a young boy of the Pukwudgies, so he turned tail and laughed with Samantha.
As he should.
And in retellings, he thinks the Pukwudgie was trying to mimic human speech by saying, "Here, here, we want you."
It is nicer if they were saying here, here, not kill,
Kill,
kill.
kill. Kier, kier, you want... Isn't that creepy?
Kind of like a flesh pedestrian.
Yes, like a flesh pedestrian. You know, if Pukwudgies can shapeshift, they could possibly be also flesh pedestrians.
Well, yeah. And they mimic?
Mm-hmm. So here's an encounter from the Great Lakes. One from Ohio. A Reddit user recounted her and her sister's repeated nighttime visitations with a gray-blue, 3-foot-tall troll-like creature with quills, like a hedgehog down its back. The girls recounted that when they were 4 and 7, they lived with their parents in a trailer. Their bedroom was at the back of the unit where they slept in a bunk bed, and they would frequently both wake up to a creature entering their bedroom and just standing there and watching them. They were never really frightened or scared or felt they were in danger, just kind of unnerved and annoyed at being woken up. As soon as it appeared, it would just keep on walking and disappear through the wall. And the girls stated that their home was allegedly close to a Native American burial ground.
Ooh, yeah.
So I don't know about that one. That could have also been a lot of different things, but I think the quills is so Pukwudgie,
Yeah,
you
the
know?
quills.
Yeah. That's the only report I've heard of it being associated with Native American burial ground. But I don't know. I feel like um, Native Americans have such a greater in knowledge and are so much more in touch with
And in
nature.
tune with their spiritual.
Maybe that would be
Yeah,
a thing that feels comfortable to Pukwudgies.
that could be.
So here's an Indiana story. This will be our last story before we move out of story time. But Paul Sturzman is a Hoosier author who wrote Pukwudgies of Indiana. He claimed to have encountered a little man that was about 3 foot tall with dull blonde hair while on a forest bathing walk in 1927. In his book, he recounts numerous Indiana sightings, including that of Eloise, who was playing alone in a park as a child when she was approached by a group of little people. They had high-pitched voices and they surrounded her, trying to communicate before disappearing. And then a really common place people report Pukwudgie encounters is Mounds State Park, which is up by Muncie, Indiana, and is actually like a really frequent place we were taken on like field trips as kids. And they've actually you can go on a guided park ranger tour for
Oh, that's
Pukwudgie
cool.
encounters.
That's so
Yeah,
cool.
super cool. So then Pukwudgies in pop culture, because in like a little pop culture moment,
Yeah.
they have appeared in Harry Potter. So fuck J.K. Rowling, obviously.
Yeah.
But um, in the North American counterpart to Hogwarts, Pukwudgie is a house you can be assigned to. Yeah.
Ooh. Would still be a Hufflepuff.
I would be a Gryffindor.
You're a Gryffindor?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You take that test?
Mm-hmm.
That's surprising.
Why?
Because you give Hufflepuff energy.
I know, but that's why I'm gonna fight you, not flight.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am a Hufflepuff, but I will fight you.
Sure you will. And then there's a movie coming out probably next year called The Ledge: Curse of the Pukwudgie, which is in pre-production.
Ooh.
So we're gonna go and we're gonna live
Yeah,
stream
we're
it.
gonna go.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I like that.
Mhm. All right. So this was the tale of the Pukwudgie. How do you feel?
5.
5?
I
Okay.
would give this a 5. Yeah.
Okay. Solid.
That's my rating.
Yeah.
It's the oldest. Yeah. No, I like that.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5
Okay.
for being a spiritual creature. I don't think they're flesh and blood. I think they're spiritual entities.
I think they could be flesh and blood if they want to be.
That's fair. Yeah.
I do.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So let us know what you guys would rate the Pukwudgies. Because I think they're definitely a 5.
I love the story.
Yeah, and if Mackenzie's not here for our next episode,
You'll know why.
she's been abducted by the Pukwudgies.
And I'm living my life being eaten. It's fine. All right. That's it for us today, folks.
That's it for us. Find us everywhere,
All the places,
all of them.
but not in real life because that would be creepy.
Don't find us in real life. We're actually spirit beings too.
We're Pukwudgies.
Yeah, we are not real
See my
people.
quills?
Yeah, they're tamed now. But yeah, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, at Field Notes from the Unknown. Like, share, subscribe. And yeah, that's it for us.
We'll see you next time. Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
We're fucking great.
We are fucking great.